All right, what is going on, everyone? Today we will be talking about the top five, in my opinion, the top five players in the NBA right now, in no particular order, though, because I think when you're measuring, something like greatness of this level, it just becomes almost indistinguishable because, each of these players is, truly, truly spectacular in their own way. You know what I'm saying? Let's give ourselves a bonus chest. Done. Alright, we'll call this top five NBA players. But yeah, so top five NBA players in no particular order. The first player that I want to talk about is James Harden, number 13 for the Houston Rockets, otherwise known as the Beard. Formerly played for the OKC Thunder. He was more of a sixth man on that team. Didn't have a large role. He played alongside Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook. That era of basketball. Uh, he was traded to Houston. The Houston Rockets, and he became a superstar. He took up the role of a superstar, and that's a role that he still holds today. But anyways, James Harden, the first thing that you think about when you hear the name James Harden is his beard. But also what you think about is the term scoring. James Harden is a scoring machine. Like if scoring was an art in basketball, which it is. It is. Scoring is an art. So let's take that. James Harden has almost mastered the art of scoring like no other player has, in this day and age. In this day and age. Besides maybe Kobe. Maybe Kobe in his 35-point season. James Harden is scoring like it is nothing. 2 years ago during his MVP season, I think there was just a stretch of like a month and a half where he just did not score below 30 points per game. Like each game he scored above 30, ranging from 30 to upwards of 50 points per game like it was nothing. That was his literally his regular scoring streak. Like that's what he considered regular. 2 seasons ago, I think he dropped 36, 37, 38 points per game as a season average. This past season, he's averaging 34 points per game. It's ridiculous. It's literally ridiculous. I think, he's taking an enormous amount of three pointers. He's one of the most ambitious 3-point shooters in the league, which is a respectable thing. Even if you miss a ton of threes, he's still making over 300 threes a season, which, nobody else is doing right now besides Steph Curry. But yeah, James Harden is a scoring machine. He can shoot from behind the 3 point line and make that basket, or he can drive and make a basket. And if he doesn't make a basket, he can draw a foul and take some free throws. But no matter what, James Harden seems to always find a way to score the basket if the ball is in his hands. You know, it's ridiculous. It's literally ridiculous. But at the same time, I think that James Harden, his scoring and all, it's amazing. It's truly amazing. But it can also be seen as, one of the Rockets' biggest weaknesses. James Harden, he won MVP. I think 2017 to 18, he won the MVP award. He deserved it. James Harden is one of the best offensive players in the league, if not the best, actually. But he's won an MVP. He's won multiple scoring titles. He's made the All NBA team multiple times, the first team at that. He's just raking in these accolades, but the one thing that he's missing is a championship. And the Houston Rockets have not even made it to the finals since James Harden has become their superstar. They've only made it as far as I think the Western Conference Finals actually, and for the past couple of years he's always lost to Curry and the Warriors, or he's been eliminated by Damian Lillard's 3 point shot. But that's besides the point. But he hasn't won a championship, and maybe that's because the Rockets don't know how to play championship basketball yet. The entire Rockets offense is James Harden. So if James Harden isn't going off, then what much more do they have going for them? I know they have Westbrook, but come on, he's extremely inefficient. He can score 30 points per game on a given night, but how many shots does it take? On top of the amount of shots that Harden is taking, it just translates to incredible inefficiency. But James Harden has proven that he can single-handedly win some games with his scoring outright. Uh, there was that game against the Warriors this year where he just went off, like hit a three right in front of KD's face to end the game. It was crazy, but yeah, James Harden I think is a top 5 player in the NBA right now. His scoring is incredible, but he needs to figure out how to win a championship with his team. But anyways, the next player I want to talk about is Kawhi Leonard of the Los Angeles Clippers. Number 2 on the Clippers, number 2 on the Raptors, formerly on the Spurs as number 2 as well. Kawhi Leonard is one of the best offensive players in the league, and that says a lot given that, he was not brought into the NBA as a key offensive player per se. You know what I mean? You do know what I mean. I mean, on the Spurs, he was literally brought into the league as I think he was literally a 3-point specialist when he started out, a corner 3-point specialist, and he has transformed his game exponentially. I mean, you see him going from scoring no points to being the leading scorer on the Spurs, during one of his last seasons on the team. And, he didn't get along with management, so he was traded. But before he was traded, um, he won the Spurs a championship. He was Finals MVP in the 2014 NBA championships, and he won. He won a championship. He ended the Miami Heat Big Three. Like, no matter what you say on paper, Kawhi Leonard ended the Miami Heat Big Three. LeBron. Nobody likes losing. LeBron left the Heat, go back to the Cavs. He wanted to be the man for his original team, the Cavs. And D Wade was already on the declining into Bulls D Wade or Cavs D Wade. And Chris Bosh was still a good player when he was when the Big Three broke apart. But the problem is he unfortunately suffered from some health issues that prevented him from continuing his NBA career, which is a big misfortune because you hate to see any player go through that because basketball is an art. I keep working at that. But Kawhi Leonard single-handedly broke apart the Big Three. Well, not single-handedly. He did it with the Spurs, but, it just sounds better. But after that, he got traded to the Toronto Raptors. He was thought to be a one-year rental agreement, and nobody thought that the Raptors would win, the 2019 finals. Like, everyone entering the 2019 season, Warriors, again, they were going to win. And they didn't. And I know Steph was playing, leading the Warriors with an injured Clay, and I need to get out of here. I know he was playing with an injured Clay and injured KD, but Kawhi still won. Winning is winning is winning. There's nothing to deny about that. Besides that, Kawhi won another championship. Kawhi won another Finals MVP. There's nothing you can say that will take that away from him. Kawhi Leonard knows how to play championship basketball, and I think he really exemplifies the saying championships are won on defense because he has built his game around his defense. His defense is incredible. His hands are so freaking big. Have you seen those hands? Like, I think they did like an ESPN like scientific study on it, and it was his hands are just Goliath size, which makes him so great at defense. And miraculously, he's still productive on the offensive end, given his big, his kind of big man features, which is incredible. He has perfected the other parts of his game around his defense, which has allowed him to win 2 championships, 2 Finals MVP. Kawhi Leonard knows how to win, which is why he's a top 5 NBA player, and I think he is a top 5 NBA player of the 2010s as well. I think he was on the decade first team for ESPN. Kawhi Leonard has just time after time proven himself. And while he might not prove himself each year of his career on the stats, I think his career average for points per game is somewhere between like 18 to 22. It's not great. It's above average, but not great. He's still proven himself that he belongs in the NBA. He's a winner. He can take down other teams. And I think for that, he's just an amazing talent that just can never be forgotten. But we'll see. We'll see if he wins a championship with Clippers. I mean, this is the first time he's really been the face, the man, the face of the franchise. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see if he wins a championship. It would really cement his legacy if he did. But we'll see. We'll see. So 2 down, 3 to go. The next person I want to talk about is Giannis Antetokounmpo. if that's how you say it. No matter how many times I read his last name, no matter how many times um, other people say it, I will never be able to say it for myself, in my opinion. Let's give us 63 this. All right. So Giannis is just a freak of nature. I mean, I think the story is that he came into the NBA, picking up basketball extremely recently, like from that point, because he hadn't been. I don't think he had been playing basketball all his life, but he was literally poor. He was so poor, and he came into the NBA still poor. I think there's like a story of him like digging up garbage cans for his teammates' old shoes so he could just wear them at the games, to actually play in, that's so unfortunate given he deserved so much better at that time. But yeah, Giannis is just a freak of nature. He's 6'11". His wingspan is so much bigger. I don't even know what it is, but it's just huge. Have you seen the guy play? He's just he's pretty much a modern day Shaq, a Shaq that shoots threes sometimes. He averages, he can easily average over 30 points per game, which is incredible for a person who has picked up the game of basketball within the last, 10 years of their life. He can average 30 points per game. He gets over 10 boards a game. I think one season, when he started to like develop into a superstar, one season he led his team in all major categories, which is incredible. So he knows how to play all around basketball. He has won an MVP award at the young age of 24, which is an incredible achievement. I was pretty sure he's gonna win this year too, become back to back, just like Steph and LeBron and all those other greats. And I think to really, he's an incredible player skill wise. He's just that, but that's all. I think that's all that I can say for now. He's an incredible player. He's a top 5 talent in the NBA. I think he needs to win some championships and cement himself as a winner, like as one of the greatest. You know what I'm saying? That's what any player wants. Move into that top 10, top 20, top 30 player conversation. But Giannis is incredible. He's an incredible player, but I can't say much more than that for now. He might have the most talent in the NBA, but I think he still has to prove some more things before we consider him, one of the greatest. But anyways, next player I want to talk about is my favorite player of all time, Stephen Curry. And putting him in this top 5 conversation, you cannot call me out for being biased for that, because Steph Curry might just be the number 1 player of the 2010s. And I don't think I need my own bias to know that. Steph Curry has done something that no other player on this list, has done. And the next player I'm going to talk about is LeBron James, and not even he has done this, I don't think. Steph Curry single-handedly changed the game of basketball. He single-handedly... let me take that back. With both of his hands, because it takes 2 hands to shoot a basketball, he has changed the way that games are played in the NBA right now, as it is right now. When Steph Curry came in the league, he wasn't highly touted as a great prospect. He wasn't the most athletic player, and that was kind of a glaring point. He's short. I think without his shoes, he's like 6 foot tall. Without the NBA's kind of sus way of measuring players. But yeah, he just wasn't seen as a great player. And even though he averaged an incredible amount of points at Davidson, people question the Warriors for giving him a 4-year, $44 million contract when other players were getting easy 3-year, $80 million, 3-year, $100 million contracts. Everyone was looking at the Warriors like, what are you guys doing right now? Signing this scrawny kid who, can shoot a little bit to a $44 million contract. Everyone thought that wouldn't pay off before, Curry became Steph Curry, not just Stephen Curry of the Warriors. Steph Curry became Steph Curry, the man. In the 2014-2015 series, he just began dropping, 50 points a night, hitting like so many 3-pointers. He was taking shots from from distances nobody was taking shots from at that time on a regular basis. Steph Curry built his entire game around, his best attribute, which is his 3-point shooting. He built it around his 3-point shooting and his weaknesses. He built it around him being not athletic. He built it around him being short. And that's just why he plays the way he plays today. I mean, if you look at Steph Curry play, he just plays he just looks like a wizard on the court, and he kind of has to do that. He can't dominate the paint. He can't fill the lane because he's just not capable. He doesn't have the physical gifts that some other players do, but he can still win and he can still play at the level that other players do. And it's just incredible that he does that. It just demonstrates the level of genius, basketball IQ that he has developed over these years, and he still possesses today. I love Steph Curry. I will always say he's the best player in the league, but Steph Curry is one of the best players of this century, of the 2000s. He has changed the game of basketball. He set so many records on the three-point end of things. He has won 3 NBA championships, and I know he won 2 championships with KD and that Warriors super team, but he still won a championship in 2015, and I really don't care what you have to say about LeBron not having Kyrie and Kevin Love, because if LeBron had Kyrie and Kevin Love, he should have won that he should have swept. He would have swept the Warriors, in my opinion, in that finals. But he didn't, and he still had a pretty good supporting cast in that finals, And I truly believe that LeBron, could have won that finals if it wasn't for, Iguodala shutting him down. But Steph Curry is still an NBA champion from that finals, and I think that deserves, his 3 championships itself deserve an immense amount of respect. Now, what is this? Oh my God, there's bees now. Alright, so you get poisoned if you get stung. But yeah, Steph Curry is just, extremely talented, extremely high basketball IQ. Changed the game of basketball, 3-time championship, 2-time MVP, 1 unanimous. I mean, nobody else on this list besides LeBron has more MVPs than Steph Curry right now. And nobody has a unanimous MVP. There's a lot of things that Steph Curry has achieved that no player on this top 5 list has yet. And I think for that, Steph Curry is a generational talent. He has to be respected as such because he's just so great. But anyways, last player I want to talk about, LeBron James, the man of the man of the century. LeBron James coming into the NBA straight out of high school. He was seen as a generational talent that just couldn't be passed up upon. Drafted by the Cavs, first overall pick, and he played a good amount of time in the beginning of his career with the Cleveland Cavaliers, playing on a really, really bad team, but making it successful somehow. But that success was limited in the end. He couldn't win a finals with the Cavs in his first run on the team. He made the finals. He literally made the finals with that terrible Cavs team. He carried. LeBron is the man. He's carried. He can carry a team. No matter, even if you bring up he's 3 for 8 in the finals. That's a terrible percentage. 37.5%. That's a failing rate in the finals. He can carry a team like no other player can, really. I mean, he played on such a terrible team. Nobody can deny the fact that the Cleveland Cavs that he played on at the beginning part of his career was a terrible team. And the fact that he was able to reach the finals with that team is an incredible achievement in and of itself. Now, what people look down upon is LeBron, leaving the Cavs for the first time and joining the Miami Heat. But, can you really blame him? I mean, if you were playing, if you were regarded as the best player in the NBA, like hands down, no questions about it, and your team just kept losing and losing, and everyone just kept doubting you year after year, whether or not you're just a bust. Well, not a bust, but you know what I mean. Like year after year, just hearing the same stuff over and over. Oh, I can't win a chip. Like you're gonna want to win at some point. So you can look down upon him for leaving the Cavs for the Miami Heat to win a championship, but he had to do what he had to do, and winning those 2 championships with the Miami Heat, it really added to his legacy. In no way that one singular championship would. LeBron James is a 3-time NBA champion. He's proven himself as a talented player in the league. He's won, I think, 4, if I'm not mistaken, MVPs. I think he's won 3 Finals MVPs as well, actually, which is crazy. He's a boatload of All-Star appearances, boatload of All NBAs. I'm pretty sure he's been praised for his defensive abilities with accolades too. But yeah, LeBron James is just he, he just has the best resume. Like on paper, watching him too, he's so dominant. He can carry a team. He is this generation's, clear cut, breadwinner, cream of the crop. He's just incredible. No, nobody plays like LeBron James. I mean, I just gave Curry all this respect for nobody changing the game, but LeBron James, nobody plays like him in the sense that nobody can, guide a team to success like him. He's guided such crappy teams to the NBA Finals, and I don't know, it's very controversial his finals. How that factors into his greatness, given the whole Miami Heat thing, given the whole 3 for 8 thing, but I don't think there's any denying that LeBron James deserves to be called one of the greatest, if not the greatest, talents in the NBA of this generation, not just of this year, and probably one of the greatest players of all time. Number 3, number 2. That's a whole nother discussion, but these are my top 5 NBA players. If I put someone in here that shouldn't be in here, that and someone else deserves to be, please let me know in the comments. But anyways, yeah. Steph Curry for life. No questions about it. Like and subscribe. Lil Uzi vs Sasuke skin going on. Let's go.